Among every world, among every timeline, among everything you can imagine in different worlds, people are there to guide you. Guide you through stories, guide you through timelines. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. And yes, I'm using my old mic. My old new mic cable is it doesn't work as the best thing ever now. So I have to use my old mic from now on until I get a new cable for my mic now. And I have to use my old mic right now. So hello everyone, this is Blue Mask, this is an old mic, and I hope you guys will enjoy this. Let's begin part 7 of What If Belle Cranel Was a Monster Hunter. Let's begin. And a little warning here, some character that is like characters from other series than danmachi is not actually the character from that universe. It's just characters with similar names, similar characteristics, and similar quirks and everything else. But they're not the same character from that universe. They're from danmachi world, this world that I've created here of Monster Hunter and danmachi. They're called the same name, they have the same characteristic, but they are not from wherever series they come from. Got it? Good. Just want to inform you. Hello everyone, this is Blue Mask, and let's begin this part 7. We start in the garden of the Zeus and the Hestia Familia home. Belle is sitting in the garden pavilion, I think it's called, with some paperwork by his side, and Haruhime sleeping beside him. Ice right now is back home at the Loki Familia house, just doing her regular stuff over there, and Belle is doing his with Haruhime by his side. Belle is checking on the inventory stock of everything else, meaning the monster parts, the ores, the bones, the material, the plants, and everything else they have that people can use. I didn't explain, but Belle is the person that checks on inventory and everything else. And Lucy is the one that checks around It's the one that checks equipments and what they need. Yeah, so the part where Belle checks on the equipment they have to buy and everything else was inventory, not the actual checking on equipment that's need repairs and everything else. So Lucy is that part, Belle is inventory stock. Belle was checking on some paperwork when Haruhime asked what he was checking on now. Haruhime, I am checking on the monster parts that we got. Like what? Let's see here. The parts we got from the 2 weeks down in the dungeon. We got some extra stuff for everyone else. I could buy some more pieces and everything else, but I didn't want to. Those monsters' armors I have fully upgraded and everything else, so I didn't need those parts. I need to prepare repairs to some of the monsters' weapons I got. So yeah, and I donated the rest to the Familia. So that is 200 monster parts I have given away. Lucy gave around 165 parts for the Familia. And some few others has also donated. A group that went down yesterday caught around 5 monsters that overproduced. So they have to take care of those. Had to take care of those monsters, and that is 50 parts. 50 monster parts they donated to us. And Belle, can we not do anything today? Harime, yes, we can do that later today, not right now. But it's so hot. I know. The sun is glaring down upon us. That's why I'm doing it outside, not inside of my room where it was blazingly hot. Can we not go to anywhere that's water? Yeah, we can go to the we can go to the little pond or lake that's here. Really? Yeah, we can do that later. But I want to do it now. Harime, please. I have a lot to do today. I missed 2 weeks of paperwork. You just don't want to see me in a Harime. I want to see you in that, but please not right now. Because if you do, You will do what, Belle? Be quiet. Did I flush Harime, be quiet? Or I'm not letting you get cuddles from me or eyes. No. Harime just pouted at Belle and started to hit his back. Don't do that. I will do that, and I will. Before Belle could continue, a guard came over to him and gave him some information. Master Bell. Yes, how can I help you? There's a little situation at the guild. I couldn't find anyone else, so I came to you. What happened? It seems like a group has killed a monster, it's not a crystal monster, and they gave it to the guild. Were they licensed? No, sir. What familia are they from? There's for what a guild employee gave me, there was only one that's a registered adventurer. The others were new beginners, sir. How many? 4. Alright. And gender, race. One of them is the adventurer was a female, a human, with purple hair. Alright, and there was a male with golden hair, also human race. And a blue bird man, sir? Unknown race. And the last, unknown as well, sir. But it seems female. Excuse me, there is 2 unknown race among this group? Yes, sir. Alright, I'll check it out. Bell grabbed the last of his paperwork and signed it off and asked the guard to give it to his uncle. Bell walked over to where he placed his weapon and grabbed him and put it on his back. Come on, Harime, we got some more things to do. Oh, come on! You're the only you're the only register handler to me, so you have to come with me. This is a guild, a hunter's guild priority. Fine. Sorry if you can hear everything. Harime grabbed her book bag and walking with Belle. Belle walked over to the sacred stalls and grabbed his sacred. Belle and Haruhime Haruhime is wearing her normal kind of clothes in the anime. So is Belle. Belle just grabbed two iron blades or normal metal blades or the default blades, dual blades that he grabbed. Belle grabbed them and Haruhime jumped on with Belle on his sacred and both of them ride off towards the guild. When they got near to the guild, they heard some argument in front of the guild. After Belle's sacred slowed down to a halt, and Belle and Haruhime jumped off, they heard what the argument was about. A purple-haired woman was standing in front of the group that the guard described, and was shouting at this woman was shouting at a gray-haired boy that was a little younger than the woman, but probably a year older than what he could see the blonde-haired boy that was standing behind them. Sorry. When Belle saw the group and sorry, give me a moment. Sorry about that. Like I said, it was a man that was a year older than the blonde-haired human he could see. He could also see a man that is in light-looking armor with a blue bird mask or blue bird face, and probably a woman figure under a little armored and a face that's also armored. A girl that's covered in head to toe in a cheap looking armor that's not actually protected. But the woman was holding a little more expensive spear than the group that's standing behind her. The man was standing with 4 other people yelling at, well, the man had four people behind him, and the 2 of them that was talking right now was just sorry if you didn't hear that. The 2 of them was just arguing like cats and dogs. Both of them was arguing about the monsters that the 3 people that was standing behind the woman was actually in front of. The man was yelling that because she killed it, her familia, meaning pointing at him and those behind him, deserved that kill, but the woman yelled that he didn't do shit about things, and he didn't even defeat the monster. The man was about to pull his sword when Belle appeared, between them. "What the hell are you 2 yelling about?" The woman looked at Belle in surprise, but the man just said, "Stay out of this! This is not your problem. Before the woman could yell back, Belle just talked. It is my problem because I am a part of the Hestia Familia and I have been ordered, and I wanted to check out what the hell was going on with a group killing a monsters. Not crystal monster, but a regular monster. And it seems like your group want to take the responsibility of killing it, even though I have got information that you did not. So yes, it's gonna be my problem, and if you don't like it, fucking go. Shit. Fine. The man walked away and his group followed. Belle just sighed and looked at the 4 others that was in front of the monster's corpse. So, you 4 killed this monster? The woman nodded and said, Yes, we did. My name is Arthur Pentagon. Arthur? Isn't that a male's name? What? Why the hell do you have that? Belle just looked at the woman and she just laughed. Well, my parents thought that I was male at the beginning, but quickly found out that I was female, but I liked the name Arthur, so I kept it. And your name? And the other's name? Belle looked behind the woman and see the other 3 people. My name is Orkatsu. The blonde-haired male raised his hand and smiled. Belle saw that the male had a iron glove on his, hand. So, a melee fighter. And you, this is just a mask. I don't like people looking at my face. But my name is Sunraku. And give me a moment. Sorry about that. I had to get the character's name. Belle looked at the last person in the group and asked, And your name is? Ray. My name is Ray. Oh, so you're... Okay, you're a girl. Yes. And like Sunraku here, I don't like people seeing my face. No. The people I trust is allowed. I see. So, let me guess. You 4 fought it, you killed it, and who were the other people? Those were my brother and my former group. Ah, I see. Belle walked over to the monster and checked its body out. Belle opened its mouth and checked out the tongue and the roof of the monster's mouth. And which familia are you from? I can guess that you 3 are not in the familia. I don't feel a phone from you. Harime walked over to Belle and went down so she can see the mouth and everything else and record what they have done. No, exactly not. Sunraku walked forward towards Belle. We 3 are from out of Orario, and we have only been here around a month now. We wanted to explore the dungeon, but we haven't found a familia yet. I see. Belle walked after that, checking out the mouth and the tongue, walked over to its legs and body, and checked it out. Yeah, and we have tried every familia we could, so we were losing money, so You decided to go into the support role to other groups so you can get some money. And yes, we have been running with our first group for 2 weeks now. She's the only one that's kind of nice to us. Yeah, that's sure. The blonde-haired kid scratched back of his head. Alright then. Bell checked it out and looked at the group. Alright, from what I can see, you did a lot of damage, but not a lot of materials got knocked off of the monster. You didn't cut out the important parts. It looks like a few scales, drops, and everything else. You didn't hurt the tongue that much. That can be useful. It looks like it's more like blunt damage towards the head. Yeah, the blonde-haired kid showed his gloves. I'm a frontline fighter. I can hit monsters as quickly as possible. I see. Well, for the whole body, you guys can get around 1,000,000 values. It's a good body that we can split apart and everything else. It seems like you didn't hurt it a lot and get a lot of materials out of it. So, yeah, around not 1,000,000, around 100,000 values for the whole monster. Whoa, did you say 100,000 values? Yeah, 100,000 values. It seems like you guys don't have a hunter license. And you reported it to the guild, so you don't have to get a ticket for, harboring a dead monster you are not actually allowed to hunt. But it was an accident, and you guys got chased by it, so it's alright. So, yeah, 100,000 values. Bell pulled out his money pouch and was about to count it when Ray actually asked, "Do you mind? Can we ask you something?" You said you were from the Hestia Familia. Yeah, I am. Could me and Sonraku and Orikatsu join? You want to join the Hestia Familia? Yeah, like we said, we wanted to become adventurers, but we didn't have a lot of money, so we had to team up with others to get that. I see. Well, that's not my choice. I'm not the captain. I'm just I'm an administrator of items. So I check on items and drop items, monster parts, iron parts, and yada yada yada. Bell walked over to a place where carts was for hunters and put it on his cigarette. Bell actually picked up the monster they hunted. I forgot to say was the big frog thing. It's a Kordabata, Brikidabata, yada yada monster they fought. Bell picked it up, just picked it up and put it on the cart. You can probably come with me, with my familia, yes. You just have to register. Did you do that? We tried, but we kinda got kicked out by a man 2 weeks ago. Well, almost 2 weeks ago by now. What kind of man? He was tall and was with a woman that I think a person said that looks like Goddess Freya. Belle sighed and just, oh my god, not him. Sanraku looked confused and said, look, that guy is, he's my cousin's ex-boyfriend. And he's kind of a bad influence on people. Look, he didn't mean to throw your... He meant to throw it away, but you can come with me. Do you have the original papers? Ray nodded and pulled out some papers from her bag that she had out of her backpack that she had. Belle took them and looked at it. Everything's alright. And wait, hold up. Belle looked at the papers again at Sanraku's and Ray's race. Wait, Ray, you're a... Yes, I am. And Sanraku, you're a... Yeah. Oh. I mean, you two are a unique race, but you're not kind of gonna make fun of. Belle looked back at the paper and looked at Ray's and Sanraku's paper. Sanraku, age 15. Race, half elf, half human. That's actually his name. His name is Sanraku. He's 15, younger than Belle. Sanraku is a half human, a half elf. And when he looked at Ray was kind of more a rare kind of person. Ray, age is 15, same as Sanraku. Race, half Amazon, half elf. Belle looked back at Ray and Sanraku, that is Sanraku's bird mask and Ray's helmet. So you got bullied. Yeah. Sanraku scratched the bird mask and Ray just nodded. Alright then. Belle turned to Arthur and looked at her. So, which familia were you from again? Soma. But I think I asked to leave a few weeks ago because I got a bad I didn't like the familia anymore. I love the changes, but my brother is getting annoying. Huh. Do you have your papers on you? Wait, you're asking? Yeah, these guys need to be protected when they go into the dungeon. Arthur smiled and pulled out a paper. Yes, I do. Okay, creepy smile. What do you say? Belle just shook his head and looked at Arthur's papers, and also at Orikatsu. Arthur. Age 23. Race human. Level 3. Familia transfer. Soma. Falna unlocked. Belle looked at Orikatsu's papers. Orikatsu, age 19. Age 19. level, no, age 19, race human, and he doesn't have a level. So yeah. Belle looked at the papers and said, "Alright, come with me." Haruhime jumped back on the sacred, and Belle stood beside it and dragging it along with the corpse of the big frog. The four others was behind talking. After some few minutes, they arrived back at the Hestia Familia home, and Belle walked in with the people and the body. Some of the Hestia Familia with, some Xenos walked over, surprising the four of them. "Don't attack the monsters. They're called Xenos. They're our friend. They're intelligent monsters that wanted to live on the surface." The people and the random Xenos took the monsters off, and Belle told them to put them in a reserve area for the bodies and make sure it cut it up. But Belle left a note saying it's for four people: Sanraku, Rei, and Arthur, and Orikatsu. That the papers of the items they cut off from the monsters have to go to those four people. Belle grabbed the papers that he gave. Belle gave the papers to Haruhime, so he got the papers back from her, and he told the four to, come with him. After some few moments of walking, they arrived at a door, and Belle knocked on it. "Come in." Belle walked in with Haruhime in the front and the four others in the back. When Belle walked in, he saw his uncle and his aunt doing some paperwork, and he actually sees his dad in front with his mother talking to, Sard. "Ah, Belle, it's you and four random people." Uncle. Uncle, I went to the guild to see what was going on with a group killing a group that killed a monster without a license. Come to find out that these four people, being a level 3 person from the Soma Familia, and for the three others that doesn't have a fallen but wanted to become adventurers, so they became supporters. They defeated the big frog. Belle says the name of the monster. They've defeated it, and right now it's being cutting up to supplies. But these four actually want to register as Hestia Familia members now. "I see. Introduce yourself, please." The four of them walk forward, and Belle's dad and father walks to the side with Belle and Haruhime. The four of them introduce themselves to Sard and Althea, and says what they can do. What they have been doing being in Orario. "I see. Can I get the papers, please, Haruhime?" Haruhime walked over with the papers, and Sard looked through it. First was Arthur. "I see, and you have history here. Alright, and Orokatsu, you are a melee fighter." We don't actually have melee weapons for monsters. And Sanraku. When Sard looked at the race part and he looked up at, well, Sanraku. There's actually a picture of Sanraku without the mask and everything else. So he looked at it and looked back at Sanraku. You're a half human, half elf? Yes. When he looked at Reyes and sees, well, half dwarf, not dwarf, half Amazon, half elf. And you're the same, but yes, that's why I'm wearing this. Huh. Sard looked at all of them and said, Hey, Mitria. Yes, Sard. Do you mind finding Hestia? I think she will quite like these people. Of course. Mitria walked off, and Sard told them, the four of them, to go to the side, and Bell gave the report of the whole incident. Bell gave the report, and Sard looked through it. I see. So... Got it. Yep, everything's in order. Sard put it away and talked to Bell about his, report of the items. Everything was counted for, and great job, Bell. Thank you. Oh yeah, where's Lucy? Where's Lucy actually at? Oh, last I've heard, she's in her room with her partners. Oh yeah. Always count of those three to be in their room for a long while. Yep. You can count on that, Bell. After some few moments of talking, Hestia walked in with Mitria, and Sard introduced her to Sanraku and the others. She looked through the papers and actually kind of liked their personalities. Alright then. I'm allowing you to be in my familia. But if you do anything wrong, you will be kicked out. Do you understand? All four of them says, yes, ma'am. Alright, rules you have to, go through. 1. Don't fight any hunters or anyone that has a hunter license with the hunter weapons without permission. Rule number 2. Sorry about that. Rule number 2. The Xenos are off limits with hunting. You are not supposed to hunt them. They are our friends. So don't hunt them. Don't do anything stupid. You got that? All four of them nodded. Number 3. You will be trained as a hunter and adventurer. You're allowed to hunt crystal monsters with the gems inside of them, and normal monsters. You can get your license when the exam comes around every month. Rule number 5. Respect boundaries. Rule number... no, that's actually all the rules. You can tell about the other rules around and everything else. You can ask the others about the other rules, but those are the main 5 rules. Do you get that? All 4 of them nodded, and Hestia said, "All right then, let's go to your room. Let's go to my let's go to my office and give you my Falna. I will send a letter to Selma about you transferring to my familia. You got that, Arthur?
Yes, goddess.
Alright then. Sorry.
Hestia made all four of them go to her office and get their Falna. After that, Hestia sent out a letter to, Soma to say that she has transferred Arthur Pentagon to her familia after she asked to will be transferred. So yeah, all about that. After that, Belle was ordered to show the group around the familia home. Belle first showed where their room was. When Sanraku asked a question, "Hey, is it okay that me and Ray get a room for ourselves?" "Oh, you two are boyfriend and girlfriend." Yeah, we kind of got the same kind of bond." "Oh, that's alright then." Belle showed them a room for the two of them they can take. Arthur and Orikatsu gets their own room as well. A little smaller, but, it's a smaller room than Ray and Sanraku's room, but those two are two people. Belle showed them the mess hall where they can eat and everything else, and where they actually met a Palico chef. The Palico chef was a female one, a female chef with a little white top hat on the top. She had two kitchen knife on the side of her, by her side, that she has. Belle, she has a belt around where she's holding her two kitchen knives. This cat is kind of a light blue color with a fluffy tail. She's actually a cat with short hair, so it doesn't get in the food and everything else. She has two mittens on and everything else, but she has this serious look in her face. When Sankatsu and his group met her. "This is our chef cat. She makes food for every single hunter that is going on a hunt. And if you eat the food, you get a little more boost in your fightings and everything else." "Whoa, really?" Sanraku and the others looked at him. "Yep. It's kind of a thing that happens a lot to us. A certain kind of food boosts your vitality and everything else, so you can go a few more rounds in the dungeon and everything else. So when you are permission to go down into the dungeon, you can come here, get your food and everything else."
"That's right." Sorry. "That is right. That is right. If you want food that can boost you, come here. I'm the great-great-granddaughter of the Meowshin chef, and I've learned all of his skills." "The what?"
Arthur just looked at this Palico.
"Like I said, the Meowshin chef."
"It's a former Palico that is a great chef. Well, in the past. She's the great-great-granddaughter of him."
"That is Meowshin right."
And she said that a lot, so get used to it. All four of them nodded and they walked out to the entrance when the four of them saw that Eyes wall inside, the Sword Princess was actually in the courtyard. Whoa, holy shit, the Sword Princess! Sorry. When Eyes heard her title being, kind of yelled out, she turned around to see that Belle was with some four others. Belle and Haruhime was with four others that looks like they're, new to the familia. Oh, hello. I didn't expect that to happen. Eyes turned to Belle and smiled. Hello, Belle. She walked over to where Haruhime and Belle was and kissed both of them on their cheeks. The four of them that saw this their mouth just went to the ground. And when Belle saw this, he just pulled out the measuring tape and just measured their mouths. And Sanraku's and Rei's masks just went to the ground. Holy shit, I didn't know the mask can do that. Wait, Yep, I'm dating Ice Wallensteins. Haruhime is doing the same. And yes, it's been a couple of months since we have started dating. So please, don't say anything awkward. Let's go to the training arena. When the four of them shook their heads and agreed, they walked towards the training arena, and Belle started to explain. So, this is the training arena. Here you can check out weapons and everything else you can use for the hunt. And sorry, Okatsuki, we actually don't have fighting gloves to fight monsters with. Aww. But we can probably get a smith to make you custom weapons. We can see about that. Hell yeah! Anyways, we will explain about the weapons later. Belle showed over to where they can pull out some training weapons. Here you can take out training weapons and everything else you need to do. And Belle pointed out to where the training fake monster was. That is the fake monster, where you can train to dodge and do other abilities you can do. Oh, cool. Belle showed them over to the stables of the Sacreds. And here, you can get a Sacred. These Sacred can live for a long time, but we'll probably get a new Sacred that is, done growing up. You can't get an old one. You can probably get an old Sacred, but they have to choose you. You can't just choose them. Got it? All four of them nodded and Belle moved on. And over here, Belle walked over to a big building behind the Hestia Familia home. It's the potion makers. Here, the Miek Familia helps out the Hestia Familia with potion making. So if you need a potion, come over here, ask them for them. You still have to pay for them. You still have to pay for the potion and everything else. And the items you can buy. And if you get the materials, you will get a reduce of the payment you have to buy potions. You can get the stuff and the items in the dungeon. When the group nodded, Belle walked over to the storage area. Here is the storage area.
here is some items that will be dropped off from the other members of the familia. Belle walked over to a place where the name of the frog monster was. Here you can get some monster parts you need instead of you go after some monsters in the dungeon. But you still have to pay for the items you get. Got it? All four of them nodded, and Belle walked out of the warehouse and walked over to the smithing area. Here is the smithing area. A lot of smiths from the Hephaestus or the Hestia Familia. Yes, some smiths actually are from the Hestia Familia. But those guys are more hunters smith and adventurer smiths. You will be assigned to a smith here. Belle walked over to a person that controls the smithing area. Hey, is there a smithing person or a person that do monster armors and adventurers armors and weapons and that? The person said yes and gave him a name that needed some few people to buy items and buy armors and everything else. Alright, I got the name of the smith you have to meet. Her name is Belock. She is a bunny demi-human. She is a great smith, and she is in for some adventurers that can buy her items. Even though they're new, she doesn't mind. Alright, follow me then. Belle looked at the papers and where the smith was. It took around 15 minutes to walk over. 15 minutes to walk over to the little house that she has. Belle could hear someone smithing away when he knocked. Oi, is this where Belock live? A person stopped smithing and walked over to the door, opened it. This being a brown-haired demi-human with bunny ears and bunny tail, with a orange kind of top. It's literally Belock from Shangri-La Frontier. That is in front of Belle, but in human version. Yeah, what about it? Hi, my name is Cranel. I am one of the higher level in the familia. I have 4 here that actually wants to become hunters or get adventure gear from you. Ah, so I got some customers. Come on in. Well, Belock walked over to the window and opened it for. Damn it, I'm blanking on his name. Sunraku. Belock opens the window for Saraku and his group. My name is Belock. I will be your smith from now on. What can I help you with? Oh man, this is gonna be great. The blonde-haired or Katsuo Speed walked over to her and asked, "Can you make me a personal weapon for hunting?" Huh? Personal weapon, huh? What do you need? I need
Gloves! Fighting gloves!
I see. Frontline fighter, huh? Get me in a few months when you get your license. I will guess you're new. When you get your license and get a monster kill, you can probably get the items. So I can make you some weapons. You got it?
Oh, we actually did.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. To inform you, these guys has killed a big frog monster. They have some few items they can split up and do anything else. You can probably make some weapons for him. Can you do that, B-Lock?
Sure thing, little boy. Let me just think about how they look. Yeah. Get the monster parts and get them here. I will make you a fine glove to fight with. Oh yeah!
All four of them talked to B-Lock of what they needed and everything else.
I see. Well, young lady, you need an armor set, right?
Yes. Ray was talking to B-Lock about getting a full-plated armor set that no one can actually see how she looks like. For right now, I think you can't go down to the 44 floors. You cannot go down to the Dungeon Desert to get those creatures' armor yet. So I recommend going for some more. There's an armor set you can get. Don't worry. It's not hard to get. That sounds great.
Bird. So you're a bird guy.
Well, yeah, but I need a dual blades. You can get some. Yeah, for sure. I can get you some weapons.
For real? Thanks.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And you, lady, you're level 3.
Yes.
You're a spear person, so an insect glaive will be the most perfect weapon for you.
I can get some few items and everything else.
But that's it.
You have some few trainings parts to get on, huh? Thank you, B-Lock, for the little information about the smith and the few items you can make. Belle turned to the group and started to talk. Well, tomorrow we will get you your sacred and palico parties. The palico buddies will actually choose you. So, don't be surprised if you don't get chosen by the one you want, but the one that you actually need. You got it? All four of them nodded, and Belle also told them they will get a sacred as well. But they have to train for a month, in actually 2 weeks for the next entrance exam for the hunting license. If you can hear the noise, I'm just moving things around in the background with my foot. Give me a moment. After Belle gave the little introduction to all four of them, Belle told them to go to the mess hall to get some food and everything else. Belle was walking off with Ice and Haruhime. All three of them was talking, going towards Belle's and Haruhime's room. When Belle was, when a member from his familia came up to him to give him some more paperwork. You got to... Some few hunters that's been down in the dungeon came back after a month excursion down into the dungeon.
You. This is so much. Belle was holding around a iPhone, let's say a phone, four stacks of one stack of those paper is like one phone high. Or no, that doesn't make sense. The paper from Bell was holding the paper from his waist, from his waist area and up to his chin in paperwork that he was given. You got to be kidding me. This would take me a few hours. Maybe even till night. Belle just sighed and says, "Alright, I will do my paperwork. I just finished my 2 weeks and now I have to do inventory for every single one of these Belle walked down into his room and over to his table where he does his actual paperwork. Belle set the stack down and just started from the top, going from the first hunter and what he got and what he wanted to donate to the Familia, and down to the 10 others that went into the dungeon for a month. Eyes and Haruhime was just there helping Belle with the paperwork. After around 5 hours of this, the sun was going down into the horizon when Belle sighed at getting done with the last paperworks. I hate paperwork sometimes. Belle leaned back on his chair when he felt someone was sitting behind him. When Belle didn't notice, he was actually moving from Belle was moving from leaning on the back of his stool and was just moving and moving forward so someone could sit behind him. Or just slither behind him and sit in the same chair. When Belle leaned back, he could feel someone was there, and he just landed in between Ice's cleavage. Ice just made sure that Belle was comfortable and just made sure and just wrapped her hands or arms around Belle's waist. By the way, the chair can hold like 10 people on it before it actually breaks. When Ice hugged him, she just smiled at him, what he could see. Belle just sighed and leaned into Ice's hug from behind. You did great, Belle. Don't worry about it. But there's so much paperwork. After some few seconds, he could feel that Haruhime was sat down on his lap and just leaned back like he was with Eyes. Haruhime just leaned back into his chest or pecs and just was there into this stool, whatever you want to call it. Eyes has her legs around Belle's waist, and Haruhime was just leaning on Belle, him just holding her up by her waist with his arms. Eyes was combing through Belle's hair, just running her hands through his hair. Belle just sighed and leaned into what Eyes was doing with his hair. You did great, Belle. Like I said, the paperwork is done. Everything else is done as well. Yeah, but we didn't do anything today. We showed some new members of your family around. Yeah, that could be one of them. Haruhime just smiled and turned around to look at Belle's face. So Belle's chest and Haruhime's chest was at the same level. Haruhime just looked at Belle's face and just smiled. Well, that's the thing that me and I fell in love with you with. You're such a kind person. And you can be very serious. I know. Belle just smiled at his girlfriends. Well, his girlfriend's just talking to him. And Belle and Haruhime and I just talked for a couple of hours. And then they went to bed, falling asleep instantly when they hit the pillows. That is gonna be it for this story. I know it's just a filler arc, but I just wanted to explain what would happen if, well, a group that doesn't have a license to hunt monsters can do. It's just that these four were allowed to go into the Hestia Familia because they didn't have a Volna, and Arthur wanted to go into another Familia. So yeah. And like I said, people can actually sell the monster and their parts to the Hestia Familia, and they will buy the monster off of them. So yeah, that was the whole thing. I know this is short and can explain a little about what, and introduce a new character, calling the Meowsen chef, or whatever I called it her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to, I can play some few video games because I have a break from school right now, so I can do that. So if you guys want me to, I can play some few video games, and if you want questions to be answers about the series and some question to me, not personal questions, but if you want to, I can probably post a video me playing video games and answer some question you have. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Good morning, goodbye, farewell, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Bye bye.